So, good morning. Can you say good morning? Can you say good morning? Can you say good morning? Good morning, guys. Today I'm going to be doing Amaya's 2-month update. So she is 2 months old yesterday. And today we're going to be going to her 2-month checkup. So for sure, I know she's gonna get her vaccines. So we'll see how she does with that. Down? Do you want to go down? Let me see if she'll stay in her dog top. Hi, princess. Hi, princess. So yeah, in her first month, when she was born, she weighed 7 pounds 2 ounces. She was 19 inches long. What, baby? Shh, 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 shh. Where's your chipon? We'll see if she yeah, so she was 7 pounds 2 ounces. She definitely weighed more than Natalia did when she was born. You want me to carry you, baby? You want me to carry you? Yeah. You want me to carry you? She's definitely a more chill, relaxed baby more than I was used to with Natalia. Natalia definitely was a more challenging baby, but yeah. So she has always slept at night, not so much in the morning, or not so much in the daytime. Amaya seems to, in the first month, she would sleep a lot in the morning. And at night, she would sleep, but then she started to get colic. I noticed that she would be colicky and she would have that 3-hour stretch. It always started from 7 p.m. all the way to 9-10ish p.m. and then she would go down, and then she would wake up the 2-3 hours later for her next feeding. Now it's not so much like that. She does down, I would say about 9ish, and then she does wake up again around 10ish to 12ish sometimes, and then she'll wake up. She'll do that 3.5 hours stretch, sometimes 4 hours, and then that will be her next feeding. So in reality, I only wake up around 2 times in the nighttime for her feedings. And she does really well. She sleeps really well. She her crib is here in our room, but she sleeps in there sometimes. So when she goes down to sleep, I do have her in the 4 months. So when I'm awake, she's there sleeping there right next to my bed. And then when she wakes up in her next feeding, I'll try to put her in her crib, and then she'll go down and we'll call it a night. But yes, she does very well in her nighttime sleep. So I'm really happy about that because I do get good rest. Her feeding, I no longer give her breast milk. That's a whole other subject that I'm not really gonna go into. She is being formula fed. I went through a whole deal with Natalia in my first pregnancy where I just didn't produce milk. I just didn't produce enough for her to feed the way that she's supposed to feed. So the same thing I did with Amaya. She did latch on in the hospital, but she was only going for one breast, and it was just, she wasn't, it just didn't work out. I really wanted to. I was really surprised that she actually latched on, because Natalia never latched on at all. but Amaya did. So I was really happy. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be able to breastfeed, da da da. But I wasn't producing enough milk for her to feed just off of myself. I would only produce 1 to 2 ounces from both. So that was not definitely not enough for her to eat. So I'm talking about like a day, not in several pumps of me pumping. So I just, it's not that I gave up, it's just I knew that I tried and I was gonna go the same route as Natalia. And there's nothing wrong with formula feeding. There's nothing wrong with that. I know some people are gonna be like, wow, you didn't even try. I'm not gonna explain myself to why I didn't try, or I know that I did what I needed to do. My Natalia she's a smart little girl. She's perfectly fine. Amaya seems to be doing excellent with the formula. So I'm just happy that she is drinking 4 ounces every 2 hours. She's never done a she's never done a 3 to 4 hour stretch during the daytime. No. She's always done 2 hours. Every 2 hours on the spot, she is hungry. Okay, you want mommy to pick you up? You want mama to pick you up? Only during the nighttime, or when we're out and about and she's asleep in the car, will she do a longer stretch. But when we're at home during the day, it's always 2 hours. Every 2 hours, she's ready for her next feed. So it's about 4 ounces that she's drinking. Sometimes I do a little bit more than 4, but she's doing 4 ounces. So I'm not entirely sure how much she weighs, because today I'll find out. I'll probably just insert it right here. Her stats and how long she's grown. But the last time that we went was, her last checkup, she was weighing almost 9 pounds and she was 21 inches. So she's definitely grown since the beginning. Definitely a really, really, really happy baby. I feel like she's starting to smile and to react to voices, to my voice, to anybody's voice, a lot quicker than I remember with Natalia. It's just so cute. Like in the morning when she wakes up and I'm gonna go change her diaper, she's so smiley. It's just the cutest thing. Like I just soak up all of that because the newborn stage goes by so quickly. I mean, she's already 2 months and I feel like I just had her literally. But yeah, it's amazing that she's so little but yet so responsive. But yeah, she's definitely a smiley baby, a very happy baby. She does cry when she does cry. She does cry more than you would think. She gets very, I don't think she has any patience. That's the word for it. She likes to be held. She likes, you know, to be cuddled up, and the second that you put her down, she'll start crying. So it was a bit tough having to do stuff around the house, and with Natalia, she would be crying and I would put her down and then she would start crying and Natalia would start crying because I wasn't paying attention to her or anything like that. So it was difficult. Oh, hi, Milmore. Hi, beautiful. So it was difficult. It is difficult in a sense to where both babies are needing you and you can only attend one, and one likes to be carried all the time. But it's okay because I am just so glad that this baby wants to be held, because Natalia never really liked to be held. She just was so independent and didn't like to be held, and Amaya is the total opposite. She likes the cuddles, she likes being held. She's just, you know, she's just needy. But I think it did have a lot to do with the skin to skin that we got in the hospital. This time around, they did let me do that right off when she came out. I did have a C-section. With my first, it was an emergency C-section, and I didn't get any skin-to-skin contact with her until I was brought into my room, my postpartum room, and then they brought her to me. So I just felt that part I didn't get to experience with my first baby. And with Amaya, and even in the recovery room, they brought her to me and we were there skin to skin. What, baby? For clothing, she is wearing size 3 months. She stopped wearing newborn around, I would say around 2 weeks ago. Not really 3 to 6 months. 3 to 6 months is still a little bit too big, but she's fitting perfectly fine in the 3 month. Just since she is a little bit long, on the longer side, it can be a little bit tight, but I think it has to be not necessarily because of the size, more of when you wash and you dry the clothes, they tend to shrink a little bit. So I just think it's that. As far as postpartum, I am 2 months postpartum, obviously. I did have a C-section. This was my second C-section. Definitely what people had told me, what I was expecting. With my first, I honestly didn't have any pain. I denied the narcotics at the hospital just because I didn't need them. I wasn't in pain. I didn't feel bad or anything. This time around, it was a lot different. I did have a lot of pain. I was in a lot of pain. I just didn't want to take any type of narcotic just because I felt really bad. That one time in the hospital that the nurse made me take a narcotic just in case I got pain. I felt so nauseated. I felt droopy. I felt dizzy. I just did not feel good at all. So I, from a start, had told them that I didn't want any type of narcotic. I would just be on ibuprofen and Tylenol, and that seemed to work at a certain extent. It definitely did hurt a lot, especially my left side. My left side just hurt so much. It was pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. What was it? The day that I came home from the hospital, I was in so much pain. I started crying because of the pain. It was something else. Thank goodness that right now I'm feeling totally fine. I'm moving totally fine. Obviously that area is very numb still because it is very recent, but other than that, the scar is healing beautifully. I don't really have any other complaints about it. The first month, my mom was here to help me, so I didn't do anything heavy. I didn't lift anything heavy other than Amaya. I tried to eat good the first 40 days, lo que le dicen la cuarentena, pero I mean, it's really hard. It's really hard when you have a husband that likes to eat out and that likes to eat tacos and all these good things that we have down here. But I really tried to keep it a minimal, and right now I weighed 182 when they weighed me at the hospital. The last was 182 pounds. Before I got pregnant, I was weighing 158 and I went up to 182. It wasn't much. I didn't gain a lot. It didn't look like I gained a lot, and a lot of people were telling me that I looked bigger with Natalia than I did with Amaya, but I don't know. I think I was the same. I really didn't show. Just because I have wider hips, I think that's why my belly wasn't that big. I don't know. It was probably just an illusion. But I am weighing now 165. So I'm definitely not pre-baby weight in the slightest, but I'm okay with that. I mean, it's going down slowly. I'm just waiting for that day when I'm just waiting for the doctor already cleared me. I can go work out. I can work out, but I'm just waiting for myself to be mentally prepared to go work out. I definitely do want to start working out. I do want to get into that motivation again. I do fit into some of my jeans, but they're so tight. Like, they do close, but they're so tight. So I definitely want that to go a little bit better. But I mean, I'm okay. It took 9 months for me to gain all that weight, and it's not gonna go away in literally 2 months. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Other than that, I am doing very well. Emotionally, mentally, I am doing very well. I'm so thankful that I didn't go through postpartum depression. I know a lot of women go through that. I didn't experience that. I just felt so much joy. I'm still a little bit more emotional just right now that I'm just thinking about it, but I'm just so happy and so blessed to be able to have had a second baby, and that she came out just so perfect and so healthy. And I'm just so happy and so thankful that I have this opportunity to be a mom, because it really is the best thing. I know sometimes I might be like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed, and it is overwhelming having 2 children, and especially like a toddler that demands so much out of you and so much energy, and being a full-time working mom, because I do work full-time. I am not a stay-at-home mom this time around, and I am very emotional in that part where I know that I'm going to leave Amaya very soon, and I won't be able to enjoy her like I did with Natalia. And so that's why I'm just trying to soak it all in right now. If she wants to be held, I'm going to hold her. If she wants to fall asleep in my arms and fall asleep in my arms for 2 hours, she's gonna do it. And I honestly don't care if anybody says that, no, just put her down because then she's gonna be wanting to be carried all the time and then she's gonna be this. Honestly, I honestly do not care. I want it. I want to experience all this, because I'm not sure if this is my last pregnancy. I'm not sure if I want another baby. I'm perfectly fine with my 2 girls. And the plan is to just, you know, stick with 2. But I'm just trying to enjoy this season in my life with her, and with Natalia being so little. I just feel that she's growing up so much, and that this little one is growing too. I'm just so anxious for her to be older and start growing and meet her milestones, but at the same time, I want her to stay this little, because they're just so adorable and so cute at this stage. But I think that's it. I think that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in her 3-month update. Bye.